line. Hey, the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome back here live onto the show here. We've got a hot one here set for you today. As the Pit Stop Monday Night Series come to you live here at Lanier National Speedway. Late ball stock cars in action here today. 15 of the toughest drivers about ready to hit it down with some serious hard racing to come. Yeah, all right. With that being said, and welcome to the show as once more here as we're in Brazelton, Georgia today, guys. It is going to be a fast and furious day. Hard racing match with 100 laps to the distance. On the pole, on the number 5, it'll be Chantel the Throttle Puddle. On the outside, in the 84, Matthew Hoffert. Row number 2 is Christian the Crusader Sharver. And the number 14, the outside, and the 36, Philip Brown. Row number 3 in the number 13, Hammer Man, Hunter Hammer and Hanson. The outside, and the 4 is Joker Joe Nuttleman. Row number 4 is Robert Warrens in the 95, the outside, and the 4-4, Daryl Klotz. Row number 5 is the 55, Jason Brent, the outside, and the number 20 will be Old Oak, Jeffrey Oakes. Row number 6 is Mike Wright on the 76, the outside, and the 31, Bobby Anderson. Row number 7, that will be piloted down there by Michael Pratt in the 88, the outside, and the 3, Douglas R. Johnson. And finally in the final row, it'll be the 9 of David Cox. Hard running set of drivers here today, ready to take it to the track, take it to the action here as the field gets centered away. Every driver looking to make a name for themselves here, looking to make it to the top of the mountain. We'll see how they do here as they're getting ready for their lap now to set off. From the parade lap to the drive out lap to come. It's go time here in Brazelton. Let's get them off here through turn number 4 here. The Throttle Chantel Bottle leading us down to the line. Green flag high in the air. Let's go racing here in Brazelton. Short track racing here on your Tuesday night afternoon here on Peak Gym Racing TV. Let's get them fired down here with the early going here. The 5 getting an earlier run as Hoffert stays on the outside with the 14-inch driver down the inside. Old Hammerman, Hunter and Hanson staying right behind the field, trying to get some run off through the corners here as they work their way down into the sets. Side by side there with Old Oak, Jeff Oakes, right out of the 76 right now, trying to put the MRM machine into a good position for a pass, but will not find it just yet. Gets put back down on a round as they'll fire him back down through the corners. The Joker Joe Nuttleman in the 4, trying to get some run off through the corners and into the turns here, still looking to try to pressure the field down. He's going to try to set himself up in the best position he can after a while out of the seat and out of the driver's position. Good to see him back out here trying to put on a show, trying to put on a battle. Still it is the Throttle Chantel Bottle, your race leader, looking to continue her race lead. She has not been as dominant in quite some time and looking to try to get herself back into the top spot. It's a long road to climb and a long road to be had though, and she knows it. Working their way down across the field here, still so far so good, no issues or contact from the driver's end. Just let them run it out and see what happens. Robert Warrens though right now already looking to try to do what he's been up to, and that is take it to the draft and take it to the track. Hard runs here from his camp here as he's just trying to make up for lost timing last Sunday night. Came out just a little bit short, trying to outsmart the field there, but now seemingly here in the Pit Stop Monday Night Series seems to be kind of right at home in his short track ways. And to start to closely guard up into the top side here as the field gets further and further away from the throttle Chantal Paddle. Driver seems to be having a little bit more of a slower style on the tires. Said he wanted to try to conserve as much as he can of the equipment. Focus on the rest from there. Seems to be working out alright, and some big names like Bobby Anderson and Philip Brown way behind in the gap zone here. Philip Brown here was one of the fastest in practice, but unfortunately he did not get the best qualifying time, and now he's set himself further along for the ride. He was fourth in qualifying, but now it seems like struggling to keep up. Michael Pratt and Bobby Anderson jumping their way right ahead. The gap starts to figure themselves out a little bit more here. And you can see too just how close they all have to get to that one line just to make sure that they keep the car somewhat relatively stable. Of course, the asphalt refresh has not quite happened yet here on the iRacing circuit. That will in due time though be a thing of the past. It will change. All it will take is just a little bit more timing and a little bit more to go, and we will see it happen ever so quickly here. Guys like Jason Brett and Redline Motorsports Media having a little bit of their way here, just kind of staying in control and a little bit more conservatively here. Working the field down a bunch, trying to stay under control with the car. Lap 16 of 100. We've still got quite a ways to go though before we're anywhere near this long run. Alfred doing everything he can right now to kind of guard off the field, but you can see he is opening the doors up just a little bit more as he goes. More timing and more execution. That is going to be the name of his game and the game of his strategy here. I think he's well aware. He's losing a little bit of ground on the rest of the field. He's continuing to try to fight with Hansen and tries to deal with Warren behind him. Back of the pack here, David Cox here in the number 9, making his first television debut here. Bringing out the Cheetos schemed up number 9. Not doing too bad for what he can do. He's usually more on the other side of the fence, but it's good to see him trying to put out a little track, a little bit of a run here and see what he can bring to the table. Yeah, he's doing everything he can to kind of stay up with guys like Rideout Brown, Douglas R. Johnson, and all them. Johnson last week having quite a little run there, getting into a little bit with some of the drivers, but ended up getting himself a pretty clean little run, battling for that top 5 spot, but would not quite end up being his way that day. Field right now starting to separate in, but they're starting to dig in a bit. Again, a lot of them trying to conserve tires, a lot of them trying to keep fuel mileage at a bare minimum. It's going to be a very tough little deal, but the throttle Chantal Bottle still your race leaders. We're on board here with Jason Brent. Brent trying to get something going on that number 4, Nuttleman, as quickly as he can. Looking for any kind of run off, any kind of speed he can get, but he's just not finding all or any of it the way he would like to. Hammerman, Hunter, Hammer, and Hansen right now still pucked back a little bit. Currently holding on to 3rd, his best start today since he's coming on to the circuit. It's been a while. Of course, he had a good little run there at Richmond, but this is a lot more impressive for him as he continues to dive it in deep, keep his throttle in the clutch. Battle back there. Here comes some passing opportunities for the Old Oak. Jeff Oakes coming right down into the playing field here. Makes a good run with Brett following up ahead. Dunnelman, though, losing time and ground. Looking to try to get that back as soon as he can here. But the tires, they are worn, they are torn, they are hurting. You can see how the steering mechanism is being really used up there He's having all sorts of issues trying to hold it down. As Chantal Pato continues to dominate. They'll make their way up to the lap traffic. David Cox right up ahead of her. Again, Cox still fighting the car and fighting some new machinery he has not faced in quite some time. It's a very troublesome experience, but look at how the steering is on the 5 versus what it was on Nudelman there. That's exactly what the leaders right now are working with. They're using a lot less power and using more smooth control because you hear the rhythm of the car. The RPMs are not screaming towards you and they're not getting too loud, so that means they're conserving and being very troublesome on their nature. That allows each rider to make the right timing and the right opportunity to make passes and make good moves here. The old Oak, Jeff Oakes right now doing much of the same here as he's trying to get right back into it. He's got Jason Brent there, packed stacked on the outside now, back behind him. We've got a new 6th place position. And Bobby Anderson also not too far out of there. A little love jab there, but Michael Pratt gets into the 4. Nudelman. Pratt's the guy also last week had a bad break in Nashville Fairgrounds. Him and Shriver battling hard out of pit road. Unfortunately, cost them both drivers crank position and also position all around. Did not expect to have that happen on his end, or did he expect to see what would come from it. Told us earlier today, he's open just to try to at least survive this race. This is a much tougher race than he could ever experience. Again, passing here is a very troublesome position because again, you're having to try to focus on one area, then your car wants to do a completely different other. It's very tough to do, and it's very inquisitively difficult to kind of figure out if you're not sure where you're at, what's going on. Nevertheless, the throttle set up auto, lead him down to the line here in the green. Looking to keep her momentum up here. She is currently just trying to stay right where she needs to be. The rest of the field doing much of the same. Singular 31 of Bobby Anderson also having a little bit of a wear and tear down on that car. And again, this is a driver usually that's pretty smart, pretty clever about how to stay up front. His battle at Richmond kind of showing that. What he did in Nashville also very troublesome, but unfortunately blew the motor, costing himself a lot of time and a lot of effort there. And the Crusader Christian Schreiber right now just still trying to hang in there with Paddle here. Both drivers playing very similar lines, although Schreiber driving a little bit wider than Paddle. Paddle driving a much tighter line. Sometimes it works in the corners, sometimes it works off the straights. Either way, not fully getting rid of the 14 of her end. Company on his back door there, the 31 of Bobby Anderson right now looking his way in. Do apologize in advance if you see a little slowdown on your guys' end there. Believe us, it's happening the same thing on ours. Anderson now to the inside, looking for a run, looking for a seam. Oh, he got a lot more than just a seam. He's got a lot of power. Marking his way down into the track, down into position. Got a good run off, and Anderson now moving the chains. And the old Oak, Jeff Oakes, moving it ahead of Hansen as well. Hansen lost a lot of ground and time there. Can't do that here. You got to make sure you stay focused and really open those doors and open that speed up. Can't close the doors out like that and think that it won't work out in your favor. Unfortunately, it did there. On board with the Crusader cam right now as the field works their way in around to the turns and into the distance. Right back around the corner. Oh, watch out, trouble on turn number 4. There we got a problem. Nudelman taking it right into the 5 of Paddle and a big wreck ensuing there, unfortunately, as Chantal Paddle been delivered to the Shadow Realm, unfortunately. And a nasty, nasty collision course there. Not sure if Nudelman was unsure where the 5 was at or what was going on. Unfortunately, the 14 also getting into that mix too. We'll take it to the chopper cam there and see what exactly transpired. Very bad situation here. Coming off turn number 2. Looked like none of them was trying to steer the car in and then didn't realize where it was at. And all of a sudden, whack. Oh, mole. Ouch and ouch. A nasty, nasty hit there, unfortunately, to suffer for. And unfortunately, the speed of Pottle, your race leader, getting thrown out of here. That'd be what it sounds like when the bloater blows up on a race car. What a hit. Nasty collision there, unfortunately, and all drivers now having to report back in for a little pit stop there, so the driver's going to get squared up. Those that did not go into pit road definitely are going to be playing out a very fine line here. But they have to drive where they need to drive, and they need to stay focused on what they're up to here to get ready for this one. I'm hoping we got the stream cleared up a little bit too on our end as well from that. Let's see. Stacking and stacking them up here. Rank them off down off of corner number 4. This time on by restart zone. Matthew Hopper will lead him down. Hopper out of the gate, going to try to hold Warrens back here as the Crusader tries to get right back inside there. Couldn't get to Robert Warrens though. Down onto the batch here, to the back right away. Every driver for themselves as the field currently having to maneuver through traffic. A little bit of few drivers going on a few laps down, unfortunately, due to the unfortunate situation there of having to go in and out of time. Forcing everybody's hand a little bit and making them have to make crucial decisions. The leader is staying in relative control and in their own little position. Bottle having major damage on the car there, having to get it completely destroyed and fixed up. Anderson behind. Looking at trying to get ahead of her and get to Hanson, but even if he does, he's got a long road to Pratt also right now in the mix. Looking at trying to get his lap back, and the only way to do that is to get around drivers. He's got around the 13 of Hanson there. As they maneuver their way through, Robert Warren's jumping up to the front here. Big pass there on Hoffert, and Hoffert went in with just fuel. Didn't worry about the tires. Well, that might have been a mistake there as Shriver and Oaks, the old Oak, getting ahead of him. You can't count out the big Oak. The Oak knows how to be durable. He knows how to be stable, and he's showing it right now. Trying to keep the Dirty Mo Media number 20 a little bit in their position in that run. Robert Warren's looking to try to get win number 2 this time by. Got a long, long way to go, though. Still about 36 laps left. Driver kicking up the speed, kicking up the power, too. Trying to look for an opening. He knows he can't let Warrens get too far out of him. He knows how tough he is. And if you're right now, currently, you're Warrens, I mean, what's going through your mind? You got 2 heavy hitters and Oaks and Shriver going for you here. And this is a track you know a bump and run is in order for. Oh, as Oaks gets a little too aggressive there, ending in the corner out for slapping into the wall protection. Tries to stay somewhat relatively in control as they move their way in. Right back underneath the nose. Got the nose, and there's the nose up to the inside. Warren's on the outside, clapping the wall. Side by side, both drivers, a little bag and rag off. Rubbin's racing. The Crusader trying to get him inside the corner, looking for the pass. Still driving on the outside. Both drivers now hard on the gas, trying to stay in control. Driver having to brake a little bit on our timing sheets there, and Oaks doing pretty much everything he can just to force Warrens up there. Both guys now heavy on the throttle, back and forth between the two. The Crusader will lead it. Deck in the corner. Oaks back underneath, trying to block. He sets the turn, and Warrens gets him in the corner, backs him down, straightened him out. We're still green. Oh my. The old Oak just got a piece of a little bit of what we call the hard race of medicine. And unfortunately, yet again, he gets the receiving end of it. Hoffer getting ahead of him as he inspects the station 84, tries to get further ahead of him. Michael Pratt trying to get his lap back, though. I'm still trying to hope for the best. Field working their way around. Warren's going to have to try to hunt down Shriver now as we're on board with Pratt. The FVP, the inspection station 84, trying to take down the Sundrop 88 of Pratt, but Pratt right now doesn't need to worry about taking him down. He's just trying to worry about getting around him. Hope for the best and make it work on his end. And through the turns and out through the corners, each driver making a case for themselves. Oaks right now currently just trying to deal with the pressure there. Jason Brand up tap to the old 88 of Pratt. Both drivers are okay. These things can take some damage, folks. They're a late model stock car. They are built and designed and even tested by the great Dale Earnhardt Jr. himself. They were brought here as the Cars Tour style late model, and they are about pretty close to realism as they get with these things. They can take the bumps, they can take the nudges, they can take the runs. The biggest thing they don't like taking is a trip to the wall. But then again, really what car does? Before anybody goes and says there's a joke in the comment section of the dirt stocks, that's not funny. Back on down through turn number 4. And the old Oak using the speed of his tire wear. Better off than Hoffert. Hoffert again did not take tires, and he's probably regretting that a little bit in his mind. He's struggling. Rotator cam showing how close it is between one another here. Pratt moving down on the inside, trying to hold him off here. Jason Brent coming right now in between as well. Pentel bottle right into the mix. Trying to stay somewhat relatively in condition. Brent making some good runs here, and he's making some good position. Track time and position is extremely key, and he knows it. And he's trying to make it work, but again, being a lap down, that doesn't really help your case much, especially when you know things could go from good to bad to worse. And if you're in the 5's case, it literally happened in a matter of one lap. Leading it out to only then have something horrible go wrong with the 4, and then all of a sudden have even worse situation by trying to get into pit road after not towing it. The hard drive off and the hard battle back here. And speaking of battle back, the 95 has caught the 14. We now have a battle for the lead. Warren's trying to tip in quick, trying to do the Montic, trying to take down the Crusader. He's going to try to pull the same move that Shriver did on him, but Shriver trying to use the bottom lane to use as a little bit of rotation spot. Each driver having their own case to be made, trying to hold the other down. But you can see that little gap too, that one little spot. That's what Warren's is hoping for. He's trying to hope that he can get a little bit of an opening to work off from and get that gap cleared out so he can make the pass. Easier said than done though. You can hear the motor, you can hear his steering. He's literally driving the wheels off this thing and hoping for the best. And I don't even think he's using any brake down there. It sounds like it's all gas and go. Speaking of gas and go right now, look back from the back. Look out, here we go. Hansen, Anderson, they're going down in deep on the 84. Looking for some runs. Battle for position between Anderson and Hansen for the top 5. Hoffert in the mix with the 4 spot. Major points on the line. Remember, the best spot going to be a very big, crucial integrity. The rest of the field. Look at this now. 3 wide down through turn number 4. Ho, ho, ho. They're holding on to this one. This is some hard, beautiful racing, short track racing at its funnest, my friends. Anderson, oh, you get a little bit of a clip there from Hansen. Gets a little bit off the nose. Hangs on, stabilizes the car down. Meanwhile, back up ahead. Lawrence has taken the race lead away, but Shriver not having it. Oh my! Gives him a little love tap, but backs off, sets him back up. Now to the inside, and Warren's trying to hold him off. Shriver desperately trying to get back in the corner. He couldn't get him. Couldn't Warren's run away now? Will he find the speed? Shriver gave him an opening, and just like that, all of a sudden it changes on you in a heartbeat. And it looks like he may have tore him out a little too much. He's losing too much ground and time. Could the battle earlier on have tore up the tire compared to Warren's? That's something he'll have to look at later. Daryl Klotz now trying to have himself a little bit of a better position here as he goes head-to-head here. Oh, wait a minute. Trouble down there in turn number 4. The 5 Centel bottle. Problems down there. Something going on, unfortunately. We'll take a look at the replay and see what exactly caused that. Take a look at the replay here real quick. Oh. Came off that turn. No caution thrown. They'll remain green. Unfortunately for her, though, certainly costing her a precious amount of time and effort there as we continue the race out. Five laps to go here, and man, what a battle it has been. Every driver having a piece of that pie, but it looks like Robert Warrens might have finally found the whole pie. Or maybe some of that American pie, whatever the heck you want to call it. He seems to have figured it out. Down to the run and down to the exits here. Jeff Oakes holding a solid third. Anderson holding on for fourth. Hansen in fifth. Time running out, though, as we lead them down to our final laps. Warren's going to be up in the lap traffic. Could that be a case for the 14 to make a run on him? If he's going to do it, he needs to hurry it up because he's not getting much else off him. Coming down the line, ladies and gentlemen, this is your white flag lap to the line here off of turn number 4. Robert Warrens looking to finish it strong. Packed, stacked, racked up through the back stretch. He won't hit lap traffic, and he doesn't need to. Up a final corner. Your winner today, Robert Warrens. What a race. Wild moments mixed in, some crazier moments throughout. But in the end of it all, only one can come out on top. Robert Warrens will win this round and win this battle here. And it's celebration time for the JHGO. What a race. Alright, fans, it's time to take a look at your final results here presented by the Pit Stall Racing Series. Robert Warren's going to bring it home to victory lane. Christian Schreiber going to go second. Jeff Oakes, the old O, going third. Fourth to Bobby Anderson. Fifth to Hammer and Hunter Hansen. Sixth to Daryl Klotz. Seventh to Matthew Hoffert. Eighth then to Michael Pratt. Ninth, Philip Brown. Jason Brent, top 10 for him. The rest of your finishers on your screen. What a race today. That is but our first of a doubleheader today, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back live with you today. We will see you guys here shortly on the Facebook side. Until then, thank you so much for watching. We love you guys. See you next time.